If you told me 2 years ago that in the wake of one of the worst horrific terrorist attacks, the greatest loss of Jewish life since the Holocaust, that I would get on my television show and condemn Hamas and stand staunchly alongside Israel, and that would be considered controversial, I would have told you you were dreaming. But that was the case. It was unbelievable, the death threats, the outrage. So, as the daughter of a Major General, an incredible Australian, sometimes it's a wonderful thing taking after my father, other times not so much. I got back up the next week and I went harder. And I will do so for the rest of my life, because standing, thank you. Bless you, thank you. Thank you. When I looked at the Opera House in Australia 2 days after October 7, and I saw a group of evil people celebrating that day in front of an icon of Australia on my land, in my country, I was horrified. Not an IDF boot had hit the ground, and they were condemning Israel and they were celebrating. But that wasn't what worried me. There's evil in every society, we know that. You'll never fully eradicate evil. What absolutely terrified me, what made me so confident that we had a significant problem, was the silence of my fellow Australians. That was a moment for our leader, for our country to stand up and say, "Not on my watch." And that would have saved a lot of hell, not just for Jewish Australians, but for decent everyday Australians who have suffered immensely since. I learnt about the Holocaust, I think, in year 3, and I remember being blown away by what had occurred, deeply affected. For much of the rest of my childhood, it stayed with me. Again, not so much what happened, even though that was utterly horrific. What I could not comprehend as an 8-year-old, as a 9-year-old, was those who stood by and did nothing. Often people bring up the sacrifice of taking a stand when it is clearly very unpopular to do so, and I've suffered in ways that people will never know about, but I have won in ways that are so much bigger. I have won so much. It has been such a privilege to stand not just alongside Israel, not just alongside the Jewish community, but with this incredible group of people who somehow, and this is ridiculous, don't struggle to see good versus evil. It's not complex. There's no context. It is good versus evil. Good versus evil. When I was in Israel, I went and I visited the sites of October 7. I didn't need to go to see to believe. Of course not. I already believed. I already knew. What I couldn't have prepared for was standing in a room where 2 little girls, same age as my daughter, were burned alive, having watched their parents be shot. Now you tell me where good is and where evil is, and how the hell I'm in the minority of people in this world who stand alongside good. I went to another site and I had to walk outside because it was just so traumatic. And I walked to a little place next door to another place that had been completely annihilated by Hamas. And there was a woman watering roses. And I went up to her and I said, "Is this your home?" She said, "No." I said, "Is it your family's home?" She said, "No." I said, "Whose home is it?" She said, "I have no idea, but I know the lady who lives here was taken hostage. And when she comes home, her flowers will not be dead. So I drive an hour once a week and I water them." That is Israel. That is the Jewish people. That is good. That is good. It's lonely sometimes in this space, particularly in my country at the moment. I should have written it down because being here today, even during the most incredible music, and I'm so sorry, I dance like a plank of wood. I've got no rhythm. But I don't think I've ever felt like I've belonged somewhere in a very long time than I have felt in this room for the past couple of hours. So I want to thank you for giving me that opportunity. And I wanted to end a shout out to the incredible, brave, courageous, freedom-fighting people in Iran. Please God, let this be it, because we will all benefit significantly from the end of this evil regime. And I'm hoping this is not cheeky, given I am at Mar-a-Lago, but no deals. The Ayatollah is done. No deals. Thank you so much.